Angels come down from heaven just to help us on our way. Come to teach us, then they leave us, and they find some other soul to save. I was like any other young girl from the South. I had always dreamed of being a wife and a mother. I blamed that on the fiercely strong women in my life, several of which are here tonight. I often hear people telling me how strong that I am, and if they could only see what I see, they wouldn't see someone that was strong. I am a survivor, and I am a Christian, and it is truly only by the grace of God that I'm here to speak with you all tonight. So with that, I thank you all for allowing me the opportunity, and you'll have to bear with me. I speak for a living, but this is probably the most nerve-wracking thing I've had to do. The day that I found out that I was pregnant was probably the most surreal day of my life. We had honestly been trying, but I had already determined in my mind that it wasn't going to happen. I even had told a friend of mine, who is also here tonight, that I didn't think that it was in God's plan for me to be a mother to my own children. All throughout my life, I had been blessed to be surrounded by children all birthed by another, and they all held a special place in my heart. I say that I'm a survivor because losing my child was the hardest thing that I have ever experienced. I fought for a year after her birth until I agreed to accept help from my doctor and started medication. In my mind, depression was a sign of weakness. I know that's strange because I'm a counselor, and in no way, shape, or form do I ever view anyone with depression as being weak. But growing up, you were always taught, you hold it in, you put on a happy face, and you just push through. I had lost sight of myself and the things that had made me happy. I would look at our family photos prior to Brooklynn and think to myself, wow, she really looks happy. I decided at that point in time that I had to get myself back on track in order to be a mother to those children that I did not give birth to. I am a Christian. I know that God did not cause my daughter to die. I know that God did not punish me. I do not blame him at all. What I do know is that God knew that I needed my angel to come down from heaven to help me on my way, to teach me, to answer my prayer of being a mother to a child of my own. And once I learned that, she had to leave us to find some other soul to save. Brooklynn Grace Bass was born on March 13th, 2019. She would be 5 years old this year, next week in fact. I was so consumed with my own pain and grief that I didn't realize how she touched so many other lives just within her short 8 months. Brooklynn was a fighter, not me. All of the doctors thought that she would never make it to term. They assumed that we would come in one day and find no heartbeat on her ultrasound. What we found out was that her heart was actually the strongest part of her body. As a family, we chose to make memories that we could with our daughter while we were blessed with her. So instead of shopping for a crib, we bought a coffin. Instead of decorating for a nursery, we designed a headstone. Then out of a blue, a friend of mine came to me and told me about an organization that made burial gowns out of wedding dresses for babies that were not intended to stay on this earth. I say that everything was God-led because she had told me about this organization and I brushed it off. And then we came in contact again. She brought it up. Hey, I really think you should look into this. God did everything to put the people that I needed in my life to make our journey as smooth and memorable as possible. So I reached out to Jessica one night on Facebook after looking them up online. I had a special request. I wanted Brooklyn's dress to be made out of my own wedding dress. She took my request to her board and they graciously agreed. And for that, I'm grateful. In fact, they were so loving and understanding that they went far beyond that and did way more than I ever expected. We didn't know what to expect with Brooklyn. We were told that she would be no bigger than the palm of our hands. But once again, our girl proved them wrong. Brooklyn was born weighing in at 4 pounds 5 ounces and was 19 inches long. Glenda had made us 2 dresses for her big day. One, if she was in fact going to be in the palm of her hand, and then when we said we didn't know, she made us a larger dress. That dress was almost too small for Brooklyn. When we picked up our dresses, Glenda and Jessica prayed with us and for our family. Glenda went even further beyond that because I have so many children in my life that I did not birth, but I love like my own. And so she made handkerchiefs out of my wedding dress for each of my children. I cannot tell you why things happened the way they did. My blood work came back completely normal, so they were not able to officially diagnose Brooklyn with trisomy 13, but it is assumed that that's what she had. If not that, they said it was an even more rare genetic disorder that they were unaware of. With all of her health problems, her heart was perfect in many ways than one. It is for that reason that she stayed with us for as long as she did and grew as large as she had. We don't look at March 13th as the day that we lost our daughter, but the day that we were blessed with her. She came out not ever taking her first breath, and I can't tell you why. I'm honestly not even sure I will ever know why. But what I can tell you is that while she was here, she was a blessing. My little girl, and because of her, I was able to meet so many amazing people that would forever be imprinted on my heart and life. Glory Baby Ministries and its volunteers are truly a blessing to so many that don't even realize it until they have a reason to. This fundraiser is a way for them to continue to bless families and to give them peace and some resemblance of closure in what will be possibly the worst and most difficult time of their life. For 8 months, we celebrated Brooklyn. And it was only possible with those that God had put in our pathway and on our journey to parenthood that we were able to be here tonight. I want to thank you all again for allowing me to be your speaker this year. I never knew that I would find peace in a Chris Stapleton song, but I did. And as Andrew Varson makes his way up here to share with you Broken Halos, I want to leave you with this. Every time I hear Broken Halo, it helps me to know that I don't have to know the why. I just have to believe in God and trust that He is in control, and one day I will be able to see my little girl again. That's why I keep going. So, don't go looking for the reasons. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. Thank you all again for being here and for your support for such an amazing organization. Everything you do tonight will deeply impact those 500 plus families. And I'm so happy to see that they have grown every year. So thank you.